Ready?
No.
Okay.
Ah.
Hi, I'm Julia,
I'm Doug.
and this is For All Mankind. This is a game that we designed together, and so we're going to teach you how to play it. Alright, this is For All Mankind, a game in which you are building colonies on the planets of our solar system, and as you play the game, the planets are going to be orbiting around the sun, and that changes the relative distance between planets, which changes how far you have to travel to get to each planet, and how much fuel you have to spend to get there. So, let's walk through what you can do in this game. You can build colonies, which exist on the planets. You can build research projects, which give you special powers throughout the game. And you can buy espionage cards, and those let you mess with the other players while you play. So, let's look at our field guide here. Everyone will have a field guide in front of them. It tells you what you can build and how much it costs. Let's say you are trying to build a colony on one of the inner planets. You are going to spend your cost of 1 iron, 1 water, 2 oxygen, and then however much fuel it takes to get there. So let's say I'm on Earth, which is where we all start. I would be going from Earth to Venus. Right now that's going to be 2 fuel. Going to Mercury would be 2 fuel. Going to Mars would be 3 fuel. So if I want to go to Venus, I would spend the base cost of 1 iron, 2 oxygen, 1 water, and then 2 fuel to get there. To show that I get there, I put a ship on the board, and I can choose which colony on Venus I want. There are 2 colonies on Venus, one that produces iron and one that produces oxygen. So I would pick one and put it in front of me, and now I'm producing 1 additional oxygen every turn. We all start with a colony on Earth. So we will all start with a colony that generates 2 of one resource and 1 of each of the others. So mine generates 2 iron and 1 of each of the others. So I'm going to put my colony here on the iron colony on Earth. So that is purchasing a colony. Once you build a colony, thank you. Once you build a colony on a planet, you can travel from that planet to anywhere else. Once you get outside of the asteroid belt, colonies get more expensive. So you'll see here on the right, outer colonies are going to cost double the fuel. So instead of just being 3 fuel away, it's actually going to be 6 fuel to get from Venus to Jupiter. The other thing you can do once you have a colony on a planet is you can build another colony on that planet without paying additional fuel costs because you're already there. Let's say I wanted to do that. I would spend the base cost, 1 iron, 2 oxygen, 1 water, no fuel, and I would get the other colony on Venus. Once you own all of the colonies on a planet, you have a monopoly on that planet. And so now you produce double output. So your iron and your oxygen double. And you put your ship on the colony that you just built.
And those ships represent that those colonies are taken. No other players can build in those places.
You can also always travel from Earth. You can travel from anywhere that you have a ship token on the board. The next thing that you can build in this game is research projects, which are represented on the right-hand side of your field guide. They're also here on the board. Research projects give you special powers, and they get more expensive as you go down the list. But you don't have to buy them in order. Let's say that I have the cards in my hands to pay this cost up here of 1 iron, 1 water, 1 oxygen, and 1 fuel for a tier 1 research, and I want to buy the extra large Hadron Collider. I would pay that to the bank, 1 of each resource, put my ship on extra large Hadron Collider, and then put that token in front of me. This token just reminds me that I have this power to reduce the cost every time I build research by 1 water. Only 1 player can have a research project at a time. And every time I put a ship on the board, that's a point. And the goal is to get all of your ships on the board. So the first player to place all 10 ships wins the game. The third thing that you can do in For All Mankind is buy espionage cards. Every player starts with 1 espionage card. It's secret nuclear facilities. This card lets you activate a nuke. The activation cost on the side here shows you how much iron it's going to cost to activate. It's going to be 1, 2, or 3 iron to activate any espionage card. Nukes will always be 3. So let's say I want to activate this. During my turn, I would put 3 iron in the bank, and I would put a nuke in front of me. Now that I have the nuke, I can do whatever I want with it. As soon as you've activated it, you can use it. Let's say I want to nuke one of Doug's research projects. He has one here on the lunar outpost. I would say, sorry, Doug. You're losing your lunar outpost.
No.
His token would go back to the bank, and the nuke would go back to the bank as well. I would hold on to my activated espionage card in front of me as a discard pile, but I can't use it again. If I want more nukes, I have to buy more espionage and hope that I get one. But there are other things in the deck that let you steal from people or do things you wouldn't otherwise be able to do or afford. During my turn, I can do as many of these things as I can afford and want to do. At the end of my turn, I will draw my cards. Now, the cards that you draw are dependent on what colonies you have. So you'll see that your Earth token generates 5 resources, and then whatever other colonies you have will generate additional resources. So for me, I would be currently generating 4 iron, 3 oxygen, 1 water, and 1 fuel. So
Quite the haul.
Quite the haul. So I will draw all of my resources, and that tells Doug that it's his turn to go. That's how you play a single turn of For All Mankind. Once all 4 players have gone, we'll rotate the planet. So if I'm player 1, I'll remind everyone, guys, let's rotate the planets, and they'll all move 1 stop in their orbit. And that is how the distances are going to be changing throughout the game, because the orbits are going to be, the planets are going to be moving differently. Did you move Pluto?
I did.
Nice.
It just doesn't move very far.
It doesn't move very far, see? Okay. Oh, trading. So you can trade at the bank 3 to 1. So 3 of one resource for 1 type of another. Or you can trade with other people during your turn. You can suggest a trade. Yeah, you can trade anything that other players will accept in the game as long as it is within the game.
This includes your colonies, this includes your research, this includes any nukes you have sitting in front of you.
And to start the game, every player would draw their Earth token resources to start. So every player would draw 5 resources, and then you would do your first round. And at the end of your turn, you'll gather all of your resources. So no matter what you do, if you choose to build a research project, build a colony, get an espionage card on your first turn, at the end of that, you would then draw your cards. You could also choose not to do any actions and to just draw your cards and hold up, save up for the next turn. I believe that's everything. Oh, bonuses.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's not everything. There's one more way to get ships on the board. So the 3 bonus points available are Farthest Out, Prestigious Universities, and Central Intelligence. Farthest Out goes to the player who is first able to colonize outside of the asteroid belt, and then it moves to each player who colonizes farther away from the sun. So essentially the first person to build on Jupiter or beyond would get the Farthest Out token and would put a ship on the board for being farthest out. And then, let's say Doug builds on Uranus, then he would get Farthest Out. I would lose that. And if there's a tie, let's say I then also go to Uranus and get fuel, he still holds on to it because he was there first. Let's say I nuke him off. Now I'm farthest out. Prestigious Universities goes to the player with the most research projects. So the first person to have 2 will get Prestigious Universities, and then it will move to whichever player has the most. And then Central Intelligence goes to the player who has activated the most espionage cards. If you've done 3 of them, you would get Central Intelligence, and then it will move to whichever player has activated the most after you. Well, that's how you play For All Mankind. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions, if there's anything that we need to clarify. And yeah, thanks so much.
Good luck.